I just got here and it's time to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, before we get into the episode, sorry if I sound a bit weird. I'm very sick. I have this nasty cold and I'm barely talking through my nose and I feel like I'm underwater, which is kind of fitting for this episode. But besides that, this episode was insane and I really like it. We finally get the reveal of the last big curse related to the forces of nature that was alluded in season 1, and it feels like a Terminator, honestly. We're gonna get to him. But also I really liked Mei versus the smallpox here, and I'm starting to like Zenin quite a lot. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, at the start, oh, and I also forgot to mention something from last week, that Yuji, after he lost the fight, he got taken by the two girls that were with Geto. Now, I'm curious what they're gonna do, because they definitely feel betrayed what fake Geto did to them, but also not really on Yuji's side, so that's gonna be interesting. But anyway, we're gonna find out probably later. Now with this episode, we have Mei versus Smallpox, and she figures out that there's a process to this domain. Get buried, get put into that coffin, and a 3 count, and if you don't get out, you just die from the disease. So she had to stay on the move, but she was getting a bit hit. She had limited time, to say the least here. She figures out the attack comes to the one with the strongest curse energy, and I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, Mei and Uui, the relationship between them. She's like thinking, am I gonna use him for bait, and just goes instantly, would you die for me? And of course the cis con complex, do I have the honor? Yeah, interesting brother sister relationship there. But yes, I would die also for Mei. She decides to use him as bait. He's more than willing to do it. They're able to wound a bit the curse there, and after that, still using him as bait inside, somehow he survives. I'm curious how his technique works, what exactly he's able to do, because he's more than just her brother. He can definitely fight, at least decently. That's why she brought him with her. They're able to kill the curse with crow technique there, with that crow did a kamikaze suicide attack. Literally, that's how it killed the curse. They're going through it with a cannon, and I really like the camera movement in this episode. Were really good, especially that camera movement to Mei's face when the crow was going through the curse, and saying here, what's the fastest way to grow stronger? The binding vow, risking your life. And that's what they did to the crows, made them suicide to have that penetrating power, so to say, calling it burst strike, and apparently can only be blocked by Gojo, which just showing how many things Gojo was keeping in check, not just on the villain side, but also on the good side, so to say, if you wanna call it like that here. So they're able to kill the curse, and I'm really liking how Mei fights. So she's definitely kind of like, hey, die for me, I'm gonna use you, sort of way. I wanna see her fight more, and we're probably gonna see that in next episodes, because Geto got interesting, saying she's very skilled with some of the newer sorcerers. That just got me thinking even more, how old is this brain thing, or what exactly it is? Of course we have no answers, but maybe we're gonna get some information then. So that's another fight to look forward to. And then we have the main trio that are gonna fight this episode: Zenin, the old guy, Nanami, and Maki. And the old guy feeling quite excited to see the downfall of Gojo's family. I mean, yeah, sure, he was pretty much established as a bit of an asshole from when we saw Maki's flashback there, and then they wanted for Maki to back down, still seeing that she's not up to par. But I have a feeling she's gonna surprise everybody there, even she instantly flat out refused to leave. This is where things get interesting. We have this small Cthulhu looking plushie, kind of way, very cute, peeking around the pillar, looking at them, but it's a lot dangerous. And then I'm like, yeah, that's the first curse from season 1 that was alluded to. Sorry. And instantly the old guy Zenin is able to catch it and starts beating it very easily. Don't even realize, even they don't realize what was happening there. And he was like, hey, he's beating the plush. I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be that easy. And then it starts spitting skeletons, so it ate a lot of people and starts crying, calling out for Jogo, Mahito, Hanami, and then gets angry at realizing that they killed Hanami. Now, after that, with the anger, it just starts transforming into this muscle Giga Chad squid octopus Cthulhu. Reminded me of Vilgax, I think it was his name, from Ben 10, the main villain there. Kind of cool design, and starts summoning water, fully filling them there. And the old guy Zenin starts going on a tangent. I'm like, okay, is this guy a weeb? Starts going on about animation, frames, how pretty much new television starts forcing interpolation with 60 frames and so on, which is a kind of bad feature to force it on somebody, let people choose, don't have it on by default. Has some weird way it makes movies, TV shows, anime look. Like, is this guy just going on a tangent about TV settings and animation and frames? I'm like, okay, I'm really starting to like him. But then we have them going on the attack, and the cursor reveal its name, Dagon. Now we have Nanami going on the attack. Maki kind of gets saved a bit by Zenin, kind of turning Dagon into sort of a glass. It makes sense a bit later, but they weren't really dealing damage to him quite a lot there. They decide to kill it, crush it before it's able to act, because it has access to a lot of techniques. Showing, I think, is it the strongest curse right now? Compared to Hanami, I think Dagon is stronger. Compared to Jogo, I think he's stronger. Mahito is still growing, so I'm not so sure, but Dagon kind of feels like the strongest out of all of the curses that we have seen so far, at least, so to say. But this is where starts breaking down how the old guy's power works. He has this projection sorcery. He's able to split or divide 1 second in 24 parts, so kind of like frames, how movies, anime, everything is into frame 24, 29, 60, and so on, but his limit is 24, so that's why he was going on that tangent, which I kind of like. This power kind of related, I were watching anime power, kind of the way anime is done, storyboarding, frames, movements, and anything like that. Quite one of the most interesting way to have a power like this. So he's able to also preset actions, like preset something he's gonna do ahead of time, and also the ones he touches have to deal with the same thing, deal in a second in 24 parts. If they can't do it, he freezes them for 1 second, but he also has the risk, kind of the same way. If he cannot correct the movement that he did. Once you do that movement, you preset it, you have to do it. So if something happens that goes against you, you're still gonna go through it, that movement, and cannot violate laws of physics and trajectory. He's also gonna get frozen if he does any of those, which is quite an interesting power, even calling him the second fastest sorcerer behind Gojo. Again, Gojo coming in overpowered and overpowered, but this is probably one of my favorite techniques in Jujutsu Kaisen. I really like him. I like the way he's talking, fighting, that arrogance to him. The voice actor, of course, is amazing. Makes me think always of Fate, the priest from there. Has that tonality, that gravitas to his voice, just sells it even more, especially to a character like this. But while it was looking good for them, they suddenly get sent to the beach, and I'm like, hey, is this the beach from season 1 where they're spending time the skits at the end of the episode and a bit talking and planning? It kind of looks like that. So their hideout was in this guy's domain, in Dagon's domain. Then yes, it is domain expansion there, and Dagon is able to use Shikigami like piranha and huge fishes to attack them. Now, Zenin also has this weird technique passed down through the families, to the main families. He is able to have kind of like an automatic defense against the one-hit attacks in the domain, which it has its limitation also, but very useful, especially in cases like this. Now, Dagon felt like you're fighting a Terminator. Hey, that guy is strong. Talking about the old guy, adjusting power parameters, thinking about this and this. Maki is the weakest. Nanami also kind of in the middle, saying there, and starts summoning a lot of fishes to attack them. Now, Nanami kind of gets swallowed up a bit while he was giving Maki some pointers how for her to be able to handle this, because she's not able to do anything with curse energy. We all know her situation. Then Zenin is also punched by Dagon directly, bypassing his defense, because the defense kind of seems to only work against the auto hit kills, not physical contact probably. And then I really like Dagon, the way he was talking, like, again, that depth to the voice here was also very felt, not just for Zenin, but also for Dagon. The sea is the source of life, which is very true. But having something like this, like a force of nature, they're definitely way underpowered to take him head on. And he called Maki the weakest, slaps her across there, and she recovers, but she was bleeding there. Hey, you didn't kill me in one shot, which is gonna be interesting. Now, what was curious that happened, I didn't expect this to happen. Like, how are they gonna beat this guy? This is not looking very good for them. But Megumi shows up, breaking into the domain, then revealed that Nanami survived that attack. I think he lost an eye, or at least was wounded in one eye there. The old guy Zenin lost an arm, so yeah, they were getting bodied, to say the least. But then Megumi has a plan, which an interesting plan, saying he wants to make a hole in the domain so they can leave, but Nanami doesn't want to leave him behind, saying, hey, this is not gonna be a sacrifice, I have a way out also, which I don't know how exactly. Maybe I'm really curious how Megumi is gonna handle this. But Nanami calls all of them, hey, gather, come here. Dagon figures out, realizes what they want to do, he rushes there. But this, another thing I didn't expect. I was like, hey, he's gonna go after them, maybe go after Megumi, they're gonna struggle, maybe not all of them are gonna be able to get out. But then you have another wild card showing up. And I'm like, okay, things are getting even more interesting next episode. You have Toji coming in and kind of having the same feeling. You guys remember when Gojo had his moments throughout heaven and earth, I'm alone the honored one, but this time he was in reverse, he coming up in the domain. So yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. What exactly is Toji gonna do there? Is he just gonna go mayhem, attack Dagon and the curses? He's gonna be on Dagon side? Is he gonna be on the curses side? I'm really curious what Toji is gonna do. So yeah, next episode is looking very, very interesting. So right now, this kind of feels like a bit of a battle royale with Shibuya, everything that is happening. They took out the strongest piece on the board, being Gojo. A fake Ghetto still being the biggest memory, my bad, I'm still very sick. Biggest piece there, strongest, they took him out. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Ghetto still being the biggest mystery, not memory. Then you have all of the other characters getting their moments to shine without Gojo. Right now, Dagon being revealed, Toji kind of being the wild card. What's going to happen here? Yuji, don't know what's going to happen to him, the state he's in there, the two girls, what exactly they're gonna do. So yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces right now in Shibuya, so really curious what's going to happen. I'm very excited for next week to see what Toji is going to do. And with Dagon, seems like an interesting addition to the curses. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode. What was your favorite moment? And again, sorry for me sounding weird, being sick, my voice, I'm all over the place right now. But hey, a cool episode I still wanted to talk about. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot. And you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So Keep enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Make sure to check out the podcast because anime. Bye bye.